Good morning. I'm Jerico Woggon. This is Aaron Riggs. Beside me, we're doing Coffee with the Summerland Kids. This is episode 112. I want to do a shout out to Kris Kristofferson, country music legend, outlaw, who passed away just last week, I believe. Country music legend and movie guy. My brother loved that movie Convoy. I don't remember Convoy, but Convoy, he played a truck driver, and his moniker was Rubber Ducky. So shout out to Rubber Ducky. Yeah,
Rubber Ducky.
Rubber Ducky, Kris Kristofferson, and want to give also a shout out to all the people that are have lost their lives and loved ones in Hurricane Helene. It's very sad news about that, and I had a friend of mine who fortunately lived, and he got airlifted out. Shout out to Ryan Hines and his lady, who and their dog, I guess, who got. He said a Black Hawk helicopter actually picked them up and airlifted them out of their residence. I'm not quite sure where exactly they were, but I know they got flooded out and they survived. So they're in the process of relocating right now. Yeah.
Wow. If it's not one thing on one side of the country, it's another thing on the other side. So we had fires all summer here in California, and now we're going to have, I guess, the weather, those hurricanes, the tropical storms, the rains, the floods, the emergency situations, the loss of power. What else comes involved with all that? Gosh, it's such a devastating thing, having to move at a second's notice.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so sad that all those folks, they lived in paradise. And I know I met a guy here in Pagosa Springs who mentioned he was going back there to live on the beach because it just was the American dream. Find your land, build your home, trying to find an affordable place to live, all that stuff. So a lot of the boxes are checked off in some of those areas. And then especially for the old folks, areas like Florida, the good weather, the blue sky, the sun and the surf and the sand and all that stuff is very, very inviting. But thankfully, for us on the West Coast, the worst thing for us is earthquakes and fires. But for them, it's the hurricanes and the flooding can be almost worse. I mean, to some degree, it's if it ain't, like you said, if it ain't one thing, it's another.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It's different. It's for different cause, but it's the same thing. Forced relocation, everything you own destroyed.
Right.
Rush out, grab what you can, the shirt on your back, and get the heck out of there. I always think it's good to be prepared.
Yeah. Exactly, and
but what can you do?
For some, I know what can you do. I mean, fast. There's a lot of course, I'm not really a TikToker, but there's people showing the flooding and the emergency, how quick it happened. A few friends. Shout out to another friend, Charlie.
You're doing the skipping on the audio thing again, Jerico. You're
on the audio, okay.
Skipping in and out. I don't know if it's. I know we had a little audio problems. I wasn't coming through.
Yeah. Let me try another.
But that's okay. It's still good to talk to you, buddy.
Here we go.
I know that we're trying to be all professional and everything, but really it's just two guys. Two guys in the town.
Yep. So am I back on audio?
Yeah, it seems a little bit better. Less skipping.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So a friend out in California working on a technology company, and he said that they're really trying to work on the on this. They're on a major global reach level, and even in really strong signal is key, and it's going to be an ongoing thing until they get it figured out. And even with satellites, there's never been That's the thing with technology. We with our local situation here is like for my mom, getting a good signal from Dish Network, that seems to be pretty darn. But other than that, here the cell reception is a outage in California. Verizon just had an outage, I guess. Our old hometowns. So that's what's up. It's not always perfect.
No, I know that we had a Verizon outage. My friend was telling me yesterday that Verizon's out, whatever. But yeah, I know that I did catch all that. You were kind of skipping again, but you were talking about how important it is to have a good connection. I was wondering, if you figured out your any ideas for your house, or if you're still putting that on hold using your wireless cell phone booster, if that's adequate.
Yep. Yeah. I'm still right now. I'm just working on the water French drain and doing that for getting ready for winter. I would say I did find a Coors can from 1992 under the house, so I kind of have a date, born on date, as far as when the house arrived. Who was the previous owner to our land and our house brought the house up. So they didn't do the best job as far as flow away from the house. So I'm kind of like coming, a little restoration / home improvement. That's my main focus right now, is the home improvement stuff on the on necessities. And so my dad is still with us up there. He moved up not too long ago, and I might join forces with him perhaps, and we might do internet bill kind of a thing. But it's just crazy how sometimes I don't know if you guys pay. Do you just do internet? So have any other providers? Like your cell phone is different than
no phone, no cable, just internet. I watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
I do a couple things online, and all the TV you can get online. I do have a little box that comes for free from the internet people.
Okay.
That's basically got like all the different apps, all the free ones, and then you can log in, and if you got a Netflix or a Disney or whatever, you can download. It's got the YouTube right there on the TV with the remote control. But
nice.
It all goes through the internet.
It goes through the internet, yeah. And I might, and that's I know I can get local internet provider service. It would kind of be like if I know we just signed up, Mom signed up for a 2-year contract. Dish might actually provide. I do think I heard something, because I had to speak with them providing phone service. I think perhaps could be interesting. I'd have to ask them about their internet providing. It's always an option. We're already paying like $150 for that. So
for the
dish, yeah.
Yeah, see, so that's my thoughts. When I switched over to using just internet TV, I guess is what they call it, and you can still get, a lot of the stuff that you watch, and then of course, you're paying for the internet. You might want Netflix or, sports. I keep seeing the pop up when I'm on the YouTube about the NFL. Get the NFL ticket. Sunday ticket, so you can always get those premium things, but it ended up for me that I was in a situation where that's all I had was internet.
Yeah.
And I found that, wow,
And
I
that's,
don't
yeah,
need $100 bill for cable when I
right.
can internet. If I want to pay the extra $10 or whatever for Netflix or Disney or whatever I like, then sure. But I mean, a lot of that stuff, NBC and everything, they got the news, they got some of the major shows on these subscription things. So why pay 150 for cable when you could pay 100 for internet and 50 for all your subscriptions and still have good internet on top of it?
Exactly. And you know, I did because I'm doing all that dig. There's actually a almost like a cable, I should say, that comes up from a phone box that's down the street. So the land, rural country setting. So there's other parcels that are on our tell an individual parcel by this sort of rectangular box on the land, and that's so. But you know, they may have upgraded how recent that those boxes were put in, but that they, you know, it's interesting because you know we had our everything was run, internet was coming in through our phone lines. Um,
Yeah, I was going to say that you know the technology they put behind the phones. Okay, remember AOL
yeah,
dial up? It was basically you use the phone, but then they upgraded the DSL. You know, the T3 line is what they call it,
right.
and so basically they just hook up multiple of those phone wires,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay, yeah.
So
So
a lot of
that's
times, you know, if they upgraded the
cool.
whole system in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
you might be able to, you know, pull a new line, a DSL quality line, and pay the extra for the phone service. I mean, it's not quite high speed that you used to like on cable, but I
right.
know that the DSL works real good. I know, I don't know how much if you shopped around. I've heard some good and bad things about the, you know, both like a ranch style Wi-Fi.
Okay. Yeah, you
But
told
you
me
might
about
want
that.
to invest. You might want to investigate because what my friend's brother did is they were kind of on that ranch situation too, and he actually
Yeah.
rented out part of their property, right?
Okay.
So there was a perfect spot on their property where they could put up an antenna, basically for the local ranch guy, and they, you know, bounce it from antenna
Oh,
to antenna out there,
that's cool.
right? And so he ended up getting all his internet for free, getting extra fast internet, and I think they even paid him monthly or yearly
Yeah,
to
yeah.
allow him, you know, allow that guy to have um, the tower on there,
The little
the
the
antenna, you
tower
know,
there.
because yeah, if they put an antenna, you know, say it's 5 miles or whatever, those antennas work. You know, it's a little bit different, you know, with the mountains and everything. You got to have one here, there, or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but if they could put a tower there, they could service that many more people or that much better. Um, you know, providing for all the other customers, and he, you know, being the hub spot, he had ultra fast internet up there in the ranch
Wow.
where because the main signal came into him and then it distributed out or something. He was explaining to me how he had really good, really super good internet for being out in the ranch.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to um you know, he's got it's called Century Link up here. It used to be called Century Link, and they're a local company. I mean, they've been here for 20 years. A company that's been in a community for over 20 years would have um pulse of quality. You'd think you'd like to hope editors and stuff. So yeah, so that. So I got a little Santa Barbara news. I guess the Fiesta 5 theater is shutting down or has shut down.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
That
So
was like pretty brand new when we were kids. I remember.
I know it was. It was. You know, we remember the state arcade days. Shout out to all our friends who are the old gamers. You know, so yeah, the Fiesta 5 was cool. I mean, it was like we park up top. You know, even before we drove, we would take the bus, go see them. I guess Metropolitan Theaters, perhaps that's their affiliate company or something. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. And you know, up here we have our little community in Colorado, a really nice lady who bought the old Liberty Theater. For a while, they took the sign down, but then they brought it back. They just had it powder coated, painted. The old vibe of restoring the old theater, and put a ton. I think they did a little mural inside, and in the mural they drew in the marquee. It says "Money Pit," so she had to drop a ton of money into the local theater and this is just a little hundreds, however many seats are in a little theater. The movies up here, she does a great job of curating and keeping the movies current and always changing. So that's cool in a little small community setting. I guess Santa Barbara's had some economy there. State Street especially was hit during COVID, and a lot of left. It's hard to survive in retail these days because everybody's on and easy delivery of whatever your needs are. So with mom or even as an adult, the ocean has kind of taken the limelight because it's like the wine and beer tasting cool area by the beach. So State Street has a little bit of the losing the limelight, commerce essentially surviving as a retail business in Santa tough.
Well, yeah, I mean it's everywhere. I mean, I was looking at this thing about how like even residential areas are being bought. It's just like, okay, it used to be a community and now it's a giant warehouse district. Because everyone's shopping online. I mean, I look up on the internet and it's like, okay, it's $14 at the Home Depot. I can go down there and get it right now. Drive down there or whatever, or I could click the button and a lot of times it's even less. $12, $10. Delivered right to your door. Sometimes you got to wait a day or two or a few days on some things, but it's like. They took all this property and turned it into these warehouses during the COVID, because people weren't going to the retail. I remember Santa Barbara, State Street used to drive down it, and then they switched it up. And one of the last times I was down there, it's like, oh gosh, it's a whole walking district, all the outdoor seating for the dining and stuff, and it's just really true how things have changed over the years. Basically, what do you got? You don't got a lot of mom and pop stores. You got Costco, you got Walmart, you got these big giant corporations. That's all you can get. One of the things I was kind of, I guess, enjoying, but also kind of on the other hand, kind of like, is like I got a few squashes and a few melons, a cucumber and stuff out of the garden. And just how wonderful and tasty and fresh and great they were, and it's like, well, no, the majority of people have to rely on a farmer, and then the mass industries are getting in farming, to where everything is ultra pasteurized. And I don't know if your mom was that way growing up about the health food. You had the health food store.
Yeah,
they were all about
the health food store.
No sugar, watch out for processed food, eat whole grains, be healthy, eat organic. And it's like, gosh, were they seen something, I guess, back then, to where now, 90% of the population, what do they eat? They eat all this processed and large corporate seed, Monsanto. Anyway.
Yeah. I know.
Me kind of tripped out. What happens when the internet goes down and the gas stations close and you're not getting truckloads of food into the city anymore? What's going to happen?
I know.
Hopefully that never happens. Hopefully, we find a way.
The local farmer, there is a farm for sale that I know of here, and I think it's but it's a beautiful piece of property. It's adjacent to the river, and but it's a job. Farming is a hardcore job. I guess it can be lucrative when that's where doing the mass scale, and when mom goes shopping, myself, when I go look at things, it's like at our local Kroger, it's called shopping center, but then Walmart will have it for $1 cheaper. It's like you kind of get caught in that spot where you almost quality. I guess that's always been a thing. And then going to a smaller store, which is more catered to which is called natural growth. The quality level, I want to say, is up because and that's at least, I know that term is used loosely now, a little loosely, because they what defines being organic. You like growing without pesticides and hormones and all these extra additives. Trying to live a healthy life. I think for the most part, our youth was definitely very you and me, because Summerland, our parents were super conscious, and as far as like trying to think, I was probably 7 or 8 years old the first time I had a or something. I mean, I had some neighbors move in, and they were more kids, and that's when the Pepsi came in, and I'm like, oh man, kid, to just love that sugar.
Oh, so, yeah. It's something, it's hard to give up. I try and get the dark chocolate, but most of the time I end up with the milk chocolate with the cookies and the extra sugar in there. And I mean, it's
right.
one of my vices, I guess, the vice of sugar.
Creatures of that situation, I mean, I remember going to the Summerland Sandpiper Liquor mission as kids. It was just the assortment of candy that we could was amazing. Everything then was a quarter, I think, for the most part. Sodas might have been 35 cents or something like that, but still, I feel like we've definitely, fortunately, unfortunately, grandpa mode, where shout out on and Dally, their grandparents now, their daughter had a daughter who did that a long time ago. It's amazing how in our friend group, parents now, which wow, I mean, I never thought we'd see the day, man. You just don't think about it when you're growing up, like getting old. That's not really in your getting old is like cool, actually, because you want to be 21 or you want to be 18. Up for us. I don't know if you probably remember those days, like fun. It seems like that right on the cusp. That you definitely wanted to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you hit about 25, there's not much to look for. I'm going to be 65. I'm going to get the retired person discount.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I get to get the handicap parking when my knee goes out.
Yeah.
You know what? What do you got to look forward to? You're at 16. You're like, oh, I get my driver's license. You're 18. You're like, oh, I don't have to go to school. You're 21. You're like, oh, I can go drink and go to Vegas and gamble.
Yeah, go to Vegas, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm 25. I'm going to be 30 pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. For the ladies, they, guys, not ladies, just hate it. Getting older. For none of us, it's not really that fun. I mean, normal activity, and all of a sudden you feel like a shooting back pain, or going like, wait, is it out means when you find yourself in this position of like, I guess you do have to follow all the old tricks of the trade, how to lift things properly and all that, because I mean you got happening, and I've had it myself where I actually had to take a week because of a back injury. So it's real, man. It's like our bodies are, gotta be careful and do everything we can to stay well. What is it?
Oh yeah. it's.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do when you? Oh, I woke up, I slept wrong. I got to
Yeah,
because I slept wrong. You ever get one of those?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's really weird. You know, when you have a neck, your neck is wrong or something. It's like, what the hell is this, man? You
Or you
know,
have to
I mean,
think back.
it's like,
What did I do yesterday? My back is
yeah,
killing me. What did I do?
yeah, yeah. At least because I've been moving. Like, I probably haven't done 100, but in terms of moving, what is it? Wheelbarrows full of dirt. But I'm being creative with it and creating part of the yard with all the dirt I'm pulling out of the trenches to build a French drain. So, like, and I never became a father, but I know I'm taking care of my mom, and she'll be 78 coming up in February. But you know what it's like to take care of. When you take care of elders, they're like kids again. You know, it's like you're doing laundry. You know, you're doing the vacuuming, cleaning, cooking, all those like you would do for a kid. So, I guess if you you're somehow, some way take care of our own, I guess that's part of it. You know, so.
Well, no, that's important. I was reading this thing, that like wolves, they call wolves the noble animal or whatever, because they do when their parents get old, they hunt for them, they take care of them. The pack takes care of its
Yeah,
own,
right.
whether it's taking care of teaching the young how to hunt, or taking care of the elders when they don't have all their strength and vitality when they were younger. And maybe don't have the energy or strength to do everything that they used to.
Exactly. Just the normal activities become more difficult, I guess. I mean, I wish, it'd almost be cool to be like Benjamin Button and get younger as we were like, I love those.
Hopefully not too young. Let's
I
stop
know,
it
right?
around 16 so I don't lose my license.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then I'm sure that our elders experience it too. But just watching all these childhood actors, Goonies, watching Josh Brolin and even Brad Pitt. These guys were like, they aged along with us, but some of them, so. But it's wild in our lifetime. I wish hoping that, forever 21, or as they say, it's like madness, getting older.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's part of life.
Yeah, part of life, man. That's what's up. So all we can do is, be thankful for those young people. I had high school, took a picture of him and a bunch of first responders, and he up, well, but the guys behind him, they're all like, probably under 30 years old. And these are the guys in uniform as police, firemen, EMTs, all that stuff. I hand it to the people that are whether it's generational, like, hey, my firemen, keeping up those traditions within those essential. They're more than essential; they're vital to the community, and just hoping now that the states surrounding all the states that had so much flooding back east that they get the help to essentially just get out of like the fight or flight situation that they're right now, recovering from all those floods.
Yeah, I got a friend up there. He didn't get too bad, but he lost power.
Oh wow!
So
Wow.
like, oh, I gotta, good thing I know how to camp and survive off of dry goods or canned goods. For a while, you can't have fresh meat or maybe some of the grocery stores, if they don't have power, they're not restocking things that can spoil. So,
Just
that's
water. Yep.
yeah, that's just and we need water. It's part of life, but
No, exactly.
definitely prayers and thoughts going out to everyone out that way.
Yep.
It's good to talk to you,
Yep.
Jericho. I
Yeah,
guess
good to
we're
see you, man.
the monthly.
Yeah, we're wrapping up on a monthly right now. We're in a very interesting time. Of course, we got an election coming up, a lot of interesting things. So we're keeping ourselves, you know, out of the chaos and the yeah. Well, cheers, man. Have a great day. Shout out to all our friends from Summerland Elementary, Santa Barbara High School, Carpenter, your alma maters, all your friends from your schools too.
All the San Luis Obispo, Slow Town crew.
Yep,
San Luis, Bay, Los Osos,
exactly.
Cities, all these Lions and Tigers and Eagles
exactly.
and stuff. All high schoolers.
The Summerland Seahawks. Shout out to the
Let's go
Summerland Seahawks.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Great day. Later, bud. All right, bye.